Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. Welcome to Smash Saturday, where we talk about all things Smash related until we get a new Smash game, whether that be Smash 6 or Smash Ultimate Deluxe. Today I want to talk about Smash Ultimate Deluxe versus Smash 6. Which one should we get? What are we likely to get? And my personal take on this as well. I'll be going over the pros and cons of both, as well as some other considerations to take into account. With that out of the way, let's get into Smash Ultimate Deluxe. Why it would be a very good idea. First and foremost, Smash Ultimate is the biggest game content-wise in the entire franchise by a significant margin. Has pretty much almost every single stage in the game, and so Smash Ultimate Deluxe would easily get us probably over the hump and we could get every single stage from every single game previous, as well as some new ones, because we'd likely be getting a whole lot of new characters as well. Very much in the vein of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They got way more new tracks. We would likely get more new characters for Smash Ultimate Deluxe from the base roster, as well as getting some more DLC, which would just make the game even more popular and incredible. I think they could add a whole lot more to make this game just really phenomenal. Another big thing for me as a competitive player, I guess former competitive player, I still kind of consider myself a competitive player, is balance patches. We lost balance patches for Smash Ultimate a very long time ago. The meta has still been evolving though, which is very nice because there are so many characters and there's so much untapped potential. Despite the top tiers being very top heavy, we have some characters really making some rounds and really making waves in the competitive scenes. There's a lot more time for it to evolve. If we have Smash Ultimate Deluxe, we'll have way more time as well, which is always a good thing. So more stages, more characters, balance patches, these things are fantastic. Another big thing to consider is that it would be an easy switch to launch title, just like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was, paving the way for it to be like one of the best, if not the best selling game on the Switch 2. Now, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was the best selling game on the Switch 2 by a significant margin, but Smash Bros. Ultimate is actually the third best-selling game on the Switch, even eclipsing Breath of the Wild, which I think is a really phenomenal thing, only losing out to Animal Crossing New Horizons and, of course, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I think there's a lot of good things that could come from a deluxe treatment for Smash Ultimate. I think it would be much easier to develop, obviously, since they already have the framework for it. They just do it for the new software, add some new characters, some new stages, do some more balancing, and boom, we have a really competent new package here. Now, some of the cons that immediately come to mind. We already have had almost 7 years of this game. We're coming up on 7 years, which is quite a long time, to be honest, to have a Smash title. Most games don't last that long. They don't have that much longevity outside of Melee. Melee still has a big competitive scene, and while the other games have some forms of competitive scene, we see it every year at Supernova, we don't have nearly as much excitement for these older games. People aren't just going out and playing Brawl all the time, more than likely. Same thing with Smash 4. We're just probably a little tired about all these games. Ultimate, I think, is one of those that could be the exception because it is so content rich and there's so many characters, and again, the meta is evolving. But for me, like, I don't feel a drive to go to tournaments right now. New characters could maybe do that for me, and especially some new balance patches. But another big thing that is a big con for this is we're not going to have any new designs for characters. Almost certainly. They wouldn't just overhaul a character like Mario. We won't see legacy characters like the original 12 get any substantial changes, if they get any changes at all, which is a real bummer. I want some new move sets, and we won't see that with with Smash Ultimate Deluxe. We definitely will not do that. Excuse me for looking up every now and again. I've got my notes here just so I don't forget the stuff I've written down. Obviously, even with balance patches and everything, the characters, the way that they're designed in this game, are going to stay relatively the same. So even if you nerf a character a lot, their toolkit's still going to work pretty well. So even if you nerfed Pyra and Mithra in a big way in terms of like adding end lag to their moves or things, they're likely not going to do enough to make them not top tier anymore. They still have giant hitboxes. Steve still has really strong things, despite if they nerf him into the ground, he could still have so much with block, with minecart, with anvil, that it would be really hard to make him not a top tier, even with a bunch of balance patches bringing him down. Just like Bayonetta and Smash 4. It's going to be a really hard thing because the toolkit is just so strong. Now, and again, for me, I'm already kind of burned out from this game in terms of competitive. I don't feel any drive to go to tournaments. I would like to, I would really like to, but it just doesn't feel, I don't have that drive because the game doesn't feel super exciting for me. The other big consideration is this is likely going to be a full price game plus paying for more DLC. So you already have the base game on your Switch. You have to re-buy it on the Switch too, and that could be a $70 purchase if they decide to up that for the Switch 2, which I think is not entirely unlikely since they've done that already for Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom and a couple other games. So it would make sense for me that this would be like a $70 game and then we're going to have to buy the DLC. So it is a hefty cost for a game that we've already been playing. Is that a bad thing? Maybe not. Let's talk about Smash 6 now and some of the pros and cons for that. So first and foremost, new character designs. This is what I'm most excited about with the prospect of a new Smash title. New character designs are absolutely a must at this point. We've had Mario feel exactly the same since pretty much Melee, since when they started getting like side Bs and more special moves and everything. The character design has stayed relatively the same, so much so that we have the cape from Super Mario World and we have the FLUDD from Mario Sunshine. Again, the game that came out on the GameCube. We don't have anything new outside of Cappy as a taunt in Smash Ultimate. A new character design for Mario would obviously include Cappy or his newest iteration, which is likely going to come out at like the beginning life cycle of the Switch 2. We could have some new moves from him, some new anything. Link is the closest thing we've gotten to a redesign with his Breath of the Wild bomb, and that's just a minor change. Everything else feels pretty much exactly the same as all the other iterations here. Same thing with Donkey Kong. He doesn't feel substantially different in any way, shape, or form. Luigi has gotten some slight changes to make him a little bit more different from Mario, but again, these characters, legacy picks especially, just haven't changed at all. So new designs would go so hard. The other big thing could be a new upside could be a new studio working on this, giving us some new mechanics even. If we have a new studio jumping in, I think that would be a really beneficial thing. Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate are kind of similar in a lot of ways. They feel very similar. They are like pretty much the same like engine, the same kind of style and everything. It would be really refreshing to have something new. And if a new studio helmed that with like Sakurai overseeing it to make sure it still feels like Smash, but him not actually directing it because we've gotten confirmation that's not what's going to happen, then we could have something brand new and fresh. And I think that would be really good for the series. Like I said, Ultimate and Smash 4 feel similar enough that we've had more or less the same kind of mechanics for about a decade and a half, which is a very long time. So something fresh I think would serve well to kind of breathe some new life into the series. Next would be a new competitive scene for me. I'm really excited about that. I talked about this previously with the negatives for Smash Ultimate Deluxe. I would really like to see the competitive scene get some life, just get something new and fresh, experiment with a brand new meta. An Ultimate Deluxe wouldn't have a new meta, it would just have a changing meta with balance patches. I would like to see something completely fresh and new. Street Fighter 6, when I was first watching that, when it first came out, the meta was so exciting because people were figuring out what was good. People were like, oh, this character sucks. Oh, but now he's taking off. Now it's fantastic. It's really cool to see, and I like seeing stuff like that. So that's something I'm really excited about. But let's get into some of the cons now for Smash 6. Some of the things that would kind of hurt the overall viability of this game. First and foremost, new direction, new studio might absolutely suck. It might be terrible. I expect them to go that direction, have someone else make it, again with Sakurai overseeing it. But if it's something that people just don't like, it could be really awful. New mechanics are a really cool idea. I don't know what they would do with that. We've got like the Smash formula that's been set for so long. A new mechanic could be really sick. It could be a nice pro, but it could also be something that we really don't like. We might really hate. I know for like Street Fighter 6, you've got the gauge. I'm blanking on the name all of a sudden. It was really cool, a great idea for a while, and I've seen a lot of people complain about it being one of the worst mechanics ever introduced into a fighting game because they think it's just a little bit too powerful, too versatile. There's too much you can abuse with it. So it could be something like that where it's like, oh, sweet, new mechanic, but then it ends up being something really ridiculous. I know in Smash 4, neutral air dodge, you could air dodge multiple times in the air and just go crazy and spam it. Some characters were really broken because of that. If we got a new mechanic that abused some kind of system, it could be really strong, could be overpowered, could be really boring. We just don't know. There's a lot of fear with a reboot of a franchise. What if it just sucks? I think that's a very valid complaint as well. Now, another big downside that I don't know if many people have thought about is that if we get a reboot, obviously we're going to cut down the roster, which I think would be potentially a good thing. If we just have costumes instead of full character slots, I think that could be a good thing. It doesn't really matter either way, but trimming down the fat could be nice just for the overall balance of the game. We don't have 80 characters, we've got 50 unique characters, which would be, I think that could be better, but it would be a problem in terms of getting more third-party game characters. If we get a new Smash game, a reboot, they're likely going to cut a lot of legacy characters from the game, maybe some like older Pokemon from older generations and get some newer ones in there, which could be cool, but that means we're likely going to get more first-party characters in this new game and less third-party characters. So characters like Master Chief, Kratos, other people that we've been waiting for a long time, are much more likely in Smash Ultimate Deluxe than they would be in Smash 6. Like, again, because first-party characters are obviously going to take priority, and they're probably not going to want to branch out with a reboot. They're going to want to stick close to home or closer to home for most of their roster. So I think that is a very scary thing as well. Another big thing that could be a really good positive for Ultimate Deluxe, specifically, this could be a con for Smash 6. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a much more complete and competent game than Mario Kart 8. As much as I loved it on the Wii U, it was really fantastic. They built a better game overall. They added new mechanics in terms of like the double box system, bringing that back from Mario Kart's Double Dash, and adding some more balance patches and new tracks that really shake up how the game plays. It's a much better package overall, which means the upside for Smash Ultimate Deluxe is surprisingly high, despite like new mechanics and all these new flashy things for Smash 6 that could be awesome. There's just a lot of upside for Smash Ultimate Deluxe as well. So what are my thoughts here on on Smash 6 or Smash Ultimate? For me, I would prefer Smash 6 sooner rather than later. I have had Smash Ultimate for coming up on 7 years now. I've really enjoyed it, but I've gotten a little bit tired as well. When I hop on just to play Elite Smash or I play with my friends online, I get a little frustrated. It just feels too samey for me. I'm getting tired of the same old song and dance. Ultimate Deluxe could do enough to revitalize that, especially if they bring in the right characters. I would love Crash Bandicoot in the game. I think I'd have a lot of fun with him, or a bunch of others that I think would be really sick, but it's just hard for me to justify, especially since this could be, if Smash Ultimate Deluxe is the only Smash game on Switch 2, which is very likely since we've never had two on a single console, I would be trepidatious to say the least to expect another 7 or 8 years of just this game. I would rather have something fresh. Even if there's a chance it's not going to be as good, I would like something new to experiment with. Now, something that I think could absolutely happen, though, is we could get Ultimate Deluxe at the beginning of the console's life cycle, and 3-4 years down the line, then we get Smash 6. Enough time for Ultimate Deluxe to sell a ton, and then keep selling after that because people love and know the game. It's one of the best party games. We could get Smash 6 down the line and be the first time where we get 2 games on the same console. I don't know if that's entirely likely. Just seeing how well Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold on the Switch, they didn't want to cannibalize those sales at all by releasing Mario Kart 9, so they're like, you know what? We'll just let this one ride. So I think it's more likely that we'll get Ultimate Deluxe and nothing else than to get Smash 6 halfway through the console's life cycle. But I do think it is a possibility. Would I want that? Again, I think Smash 6 sounds a little more appealing for me. But I do see a lot of upsides. If we end up getting Smash Ultimate Deluxe, I will be excited for that, despite having to rebuy it and everything. I will be excited for the new balance patches, the new characters, and the whole 9 yards. I think it would be great no matter what we end up getting. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.